This news actually broke on Friday, shortly after we had gone off the air. It was Friday, but I think it's probably still the biggest news in the region. The Bayern Munich defender, Canadian superstar, diagnosed with myocarditis. It's an inflammation of the heart muscle. This after he tested positive for COVID-19 earlier in January. He's obviously not training with Bayern Munich anymore. He last played for them on December 17th. We've had a few hints out there as far as maybe a timetable for his return, but the best one came from his manager. Here's Julian Nagelsmann on Davies.
We examined him yesterday. We examined all of our players and all of the players who had corona. He had some problems with his heart. He had some cardiac values that were self-explanatory, really. He won't be able to play in the next couple of weeks. He had myocarditis, which is something that needs to heal. That's something that the ultrasound showed us. It doesn't look dramatic at all, but it's just a sign of myocarditis. It's something that he needs to, heal off, that takes time. He needs to rest. So in other words, we can't use him for the next couple of weeks.
All right, Herc, so obviously grave concern there. We heard the words from Julian Nagelsmann. When you first heard this on Friday, what was your reaction to the news about Alphonso Davies?
Well, first of all, let's hope he's okay. Let's hope there are no serious consequences after this, and glad they caught it. It's this standard testing they do post-COVID for any player coming back from Bayern Munich. They actually caught it. You can imagine how scary it would have been if they would have let him go back on the pitch. But immediately I'm thinking of Bayern Munich's place, one of the best left backs in the world, and then, okay, how does that translate to Canada? Wow, this window, these 3 games, Canada is losing their most influential player. I'm sorry, not their most influential player, the most influential player in all of CONCACAF. This is the best player in CONCACAF. All of a sudden, Canada is going to lose that fear factor. And what I mean by that is Canada's a good team. They're a good defensive team. They got shape. They're disciplined. John Herdman's got them playing well. But you lose a player like Alphonso Davies with the capability of changing a game single-handedly. When you lose that type of player, a player who forces opposition to tactically build a game plan around him, and I'm serious when I say this. Mexico, U.S., they play against Canada. You have to be wary any and every single time Alphonso Davies is on the field. He can singly change a game like he did in the U.S. versus Canada game, where one play they were bunkered in down the left-hand side. He gets an assist with Kyle Larin. He makes everybody around him better, whether that's Jonathan David, Kyle Larin, or Eustáquio, and the vision that Eustáquio can have with a player of his ability. You lose that fear factor. Teams don't fear you as much when you don't have a player like Alphonso Davies.
Yeah, we look at the qualifying table right now. They're first, but let's be honest, right? They're only 2 points out of what, 4th? And a potential playoff. So as good as the start has been to Canada, these next 3 games are critical. If you look at the next 3 games, so I think you might argue, Herc, these are of the road trips you're going to have to make if you're ever going to be without Alphonso Davies. This would be it for Canada, right? Honduras, a disaster, dead last place. El Salvador, not much better. They're in 7th. And then you do have the United States, but you got the United States on home soil, right? Up there in Ontario in a game that I'm sure we know will be frozen. So in many ways there, I think it lines up well for Canada. I wonder if you also think maybe there's a little bit more to Canada than just Alphonso Davies. Remember the game against Mexico? I feel like Mexico did a real good job for the first time we saw someone in CONCACAF. The game against Mexico in World Cup qualifying. The game Canada won. Yeah, the game Canada won. It was the first time that Davies was really shut down, and yet Canada was still dangerous. It's not as though they couldn't be dangerous without him. So I don't know. I don't know that I think that Alphonso Davies, obviously he's their best player. He's a huge edge to their team, but I don't know that Canada's nothing without him. I think they'll be pretty strong.
Your words, nothing without him. They lose that fear factor. Anytime you have a player, excuse me, like Alphonso Davies, you've got to prepare for an Alphonso Davies. The explosion of Alphonso Davies, the creativity, the dynamic, the directness, the way he can hurt you, the way he can make others be better. Kyle Larin is better with Alphonso Davies. Jonathan David is better with Alphonso Davies. Canada, without Alphonso Davies, maybe doesn't even play in a 4-3-3. Maybe they go to a 4-2-2 and implement Jonathan David and Kyle Larin at the same time. It changes the dynamic for a lot. And I'm not so sure if Mexico did a good job with them, because Mexico tried to keep him at bay, but he was still so dangerous. They were still so hesitant to come out and really go flying against a team like Canada because they're so aggressive on the counter because of players like Alphonso Davies. And listen, you know what it's like. He's the most important player in CONCACAF. Anytime you lose him, and I don't care if you're playing against the 7th and 8th team in CONCACAF and this Ocho, you still have a 6-point game against the U.S., and it's a 6-point game. It's an opportunity to take away not only get yourself 3 points, but take away 3 from direct opposition.
Look, they still got guys that can scare you, that can pin you back, at Tajon Buchanan. Look, I've been hearing a lot of my comments about Jonathan David, that I had him, 8 or 9 in my top 10 of CONCACAF players. Here's the moment. Here's the moment. These 3 games, Jonathan David's moment to jump into that top 5 of Futbol America's top 10 CONCACAF
Kyle Laren's
players.
a leading goal scorer on that team.